Good morning, Year 6. Welcome to the first of our 2 videos today. Here are the answers from yesterday's tasks. Please pause the video and mark your work. Right, fluent in 5 for today. Here are your questions. So set yourself a 5-minute timer. Off you go. Right, time for the answers for fluent in 5 for today. Here we go. I think they should have all been okay. It may have just been C again, remembering the cubed. Okay, remembering that if a number is like 6 cubed, I times the 6 by itself 3 times. So 6 times 6 is 36, and then 36 times 6 is 216. Okay, well done. So today we are going to be learning to identify and define isosceles triangles. So yesterday we looked at right angled triangles. So remembering that a right angled triangle we can identify because we can recognize that it has a right angle, so an angle measuring 90 degrees. And also remembering that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so we have this triangle here, triangle PQR. And we are told that the line PQ and PR are equal. Okay, and on an isosceles triangle, this is an example of an isosceles triangle. On an isosceles triangle, we mark the equal sides with these little dashes here, as you can see. Okay, and that just shows somebody that those sides measure the same length. Okay, an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides. Let's look at a few more examples. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is have a look at these 3 triangles and either point at the screen or point at the piece of paper that you have in front of you. Which pairs of sides are equal in these isosceles triangles? Okay, hopefully you're pointing at this side and this side, this one and this one, and then finally this side and this side. Okay, because we've got these little kind of dashes on the sides to show that they are equal. Okay, so we need to remember the statement: an isosceles triangle is a triangle in which 2 of the sides are equal. Okay, there is also something else with isosceles triangles that makes an isosceles triangle an isosceles triangle, and we're going to have a look at that now. So you can have a go at this task with me, okay, either by using the triangle that I put on the learning presentation, or just by drawing yourself an isosceles triangle. So drawing yourself a triangle that has 2 equal sides. Okay, so I've already cut mine out ready, and what I'm going to do, okay, is just label this triangle. Okay, so I'm going to label this angle A, this angle B, and this one C. Okay, and similar, it's this triangle here, just a larger triangle. Okay, I've got the triangle A, B, C. Okay, if I labelled the sides. What I'm going to do is fold it now along the line of symmetry. Okay, the line of symmetry goes from the top of this triangle down through the centre. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half, and you can do this along with me. Okay, and now that it's folded in half, okay, you can see that it does have a line of symmetry. Both sides are the same. What does that tell you about these 2 angles, angle B and angle C? Okay, when I fold them in half, it shows that they are equal. They are the same size. Okay, so in an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides and also 2 equal angles. Okay, so the angles opposite the equal sides are equal. Okay, so this angle here that's at the bottom of this equal side is opposite this one, so it's this angle here that is equal. Okay, so if I was to measure these with a protractor, these 2 angles would be the same size. Okay, so thinking about how we can now use what we've learnt to identify isosceles triangles, what I'd like you to do is have a look at these 4 triangles. Okay, I'm going to get you to pause the video. If you have a printout of this in front of you, it would be great. You will need a ruler, okay, and if you do have a protractor, make sure you've got your protractor as well. If you don't have a protractor, don't worry, you can just use your ruler. But what I'd like you to do is measure the sides and possibly the angles of these 4 triangles to identify which ones are isosceles triangles. So pause the video. Okay, let's see how you got on. So I've got my ruler and my protractor. Okay, I'm going to start off with the triangle ABC, and I'm going to measure the sides first. Okay, so I'd say that that side there measures about 5.2 centimetres. Along with that side, so they're both 5.2, and that side I would measure 5 centimetres. Okay, so already I'm noticing that these 2 sides measure the same length. Okay, so I would say yes, that is an isosceles triangle, okay, because the sides BC and CA are equal in length. Okay, I could also use a protractor if you had one, just to measure the size of the angles. So that angle BCA, I would measure at 60 degrees. This angle ABC, I would measure at about 62 or 63 degrees. And then this one BAC, oh, make sure I line it up accurately, I would measure at about 62, 63 degrees as well. Okay, so yes, this is an isosceles triangle. Okay, this triangle DEF, okay, just by looking at it, without even using a ruler or a protractor, I can tell that it is not an isosceles triangle. Okay, the length of the sides are all different on this triangle. Okay, yes, it does have a right angle, so I could say it's a right angle triangle, but the sides are all different lengths. I don't even need to measure it. It's not an isosceles triangle. Okay, this one, okay, I'm just going to start off by measuring the sides. Okay, so that side I would measure at about maybe 4.6. That one, 4.6 centimetres. And that one, about 6.3 centimetres. So don't worry if your measurements are like 0.1 centimetre off of mine. But yes, this side and this side are equal. Okay, this is an isosceles triangle. Okay, and if I just double check with my protractor, okay, that angle there is a right angle. Okay, it measures 90 degrees. This one 45 degrees, and this one 45 degrees as well. Okay, so this triangle LMN is an isosceles triangle, but is also a right angle triangle because it has a right angle. Okay, and then finally PQR, let's measure the sides. 4.5 centimetres, 4.5 centimetres, and about 8.5 centimetres. So yes, this is an isosceles triangle because it has 2 equal sides. Well done. Now that's the end of video 1 for today. Please now go and watch video 2.